Hello everybody, how are you doing? Yeah, it's a fine day here. Alright, let's go to the next weekend's fights that I'll be predicting. First, um, this card in Carson, because that's in Arizona, Saturday. We got Sebastian Fundora, one of my favorite young fighters, against Carlos Ocampo. Well, Ocampo is a guy, him. If you have followed Errol Spence's career, you'll know that he's the guy that Spence knocked out in one round, one of his first defenses since he became the IBF champion. And so still his only loss, however. But after that, he's only fought, lower level fighters. And Fundora is coming off a big win over Erickson Lubin. He stopped Lubin, in 9 rounds. Yeah. So this is there's always a rather big mismatch when you have a guy who is almost 6'6" fighting a real, like, even though Ocampo is a rather tall super welterweight, but not really tall. He's almost 5'11". So there's still, 6 inches difference. Yeah, that's right. Or actually, no, 7 inches. Wow. When it comes to height, and I think I can't see Ocampo winning this fight. Fundora is simply too much of everything. Too tall. He comes forward, throws too many punches. He's pretty accurate with his punches also. Not a really devastating puncher, but he's an accumulation puncher. Yeah, really good one. So I expect him to stop also Ocampo in this fight. I don't know when it can happen, probably between the sixth and the 10th round. Yeah, yeah. So that was my prediction: Fundora to win, but most likely by stoppage somewhere, in the middle rounds, most likely, or later middle rounds. All right, then we have another good fight, which is for the WBC interim middleweight title. I forgot to say that this first fight was for also a WBC interim super welterweight title. All right, this is Carlos Adames versus Juan Macias Montiel. So, Carlos Adames is a very good prospect, and in his last fight, he beat Sergey Derevyachenko by a majority decision. Also, his only loss was on a close decision to Patrick Teixeira, and when he was knocked down, that one cost him because otherwise it would have been a majority draw. So, yeah, he's 5'11", while Montiel has got, he's taller, but 6'1", but by 2 inches, but he's got 5 losses, and has been stopped also, knocked out by Munguia actually. Hmm. And well, he's a puncher. I mean, all of his wins are by knockout, so that's pretty impressive. His best win so far is against a really shot James Kirkland, when he knocked him out in one round. Also, he fought Hugo Centeno Jr. that ended as a split draw, 2019. All right. Well, still I think Adames is a little bit better and stronger fighter simply, and he's been on a good run lately, So I believe he will win by decision more or likely. He has 16 KOs of 21 wins. He's still I won't call him. He's a good puncher, but still, to stop a guy like Montiel, you obviously have to be really like a really good puncher. So I don't know, but it's possible. I'm not completely ruling that out. But also he can get knocked out because this guy Montiel can punch really. But I think most likely Adames will win this fight. Yeah, on points. Yeah. And then we go. Well, let's see. We got one more. Well, Egidius Kavaliauskas is making a comeback also against Michael Fox, but it seems that his best days are really behind him, and he was not stopped rather brutally in his last fight. And he hasn't had a fight for over a year now. But still, this guy, Michael Fox, he should not Michael J. Fox. He should be able to beat him because he doesn't have really any good wins on his record. So, yeah, I hope that he wins this, and then, I don't know. He's got 3 losses, this guy, Fox. But, I don't know how much those losses to Virgil Ortiz and Terence Crawford has hurt Kavaliauskas. Maybe not Crawford lost as much as Ortiz won. But anyway, he'll probably win this fight. I don't know really how, but yeah, alright. And then we can go to England. Yeah, that's right. Where there's a major fight happening this weekend, baby. So you know what I'm talking about, yeah, right. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn or Benn Jr. Yeah, yes, this is of course a really hyped fight. I don't know really how good the fight itself will turn out because Eubank has to, make a weight. He might has to fight a lower weight than he has ever fought before as a pro. Even in his first fights, I see now he came in at like, you know, significantly, above. I mean, he came at above 160 also. So even making 160 is not that, easy for him now. But yeah, he's also 33, so it's kind of starting. At that point you're still prime, but not for much longer. It's where kind of right after that it starts going, down downhill. Yeah. So Conor Ben, of course, is younger a lot by 7 years. So and he hasn't lost yet. Eubank has 2 losses, of course, to Saunders and Rose. And Eubank is taller by 3 inches. Yeah, that's right. You know that when they were standing up opposite each other, it looked even more maybe, but I guess Eubank was wearing some high platform shoes or something. But yeah, I'm not really sure how this will play out, because Eubank, I don't know how much this will affect him having to go down so low in weight. So it will probably, take away some of his punching power. I mean, we know what happened, for instance, when Donnie Lalonde had to go down in weight to fight Sugar Ray Leonard. His punching power really, decreased, so he wasn't able. Even though he did drop Leonard and hurt him, even A couple of times he just wasn't able to really, get him in trouble because his power wasn't the same. So I can see the same happening to Eubank Jr. Yeah. And at the same time, Conor Benn is a really athletic fighter. He's very fast and explosive, and he's just pretty much like his own man, old man. He doesn't really do much of. He doesn't play chess much, to put it that way. So, but he's got still pretty good defense, and that head movement like his old man had. And yeah, I can see him winning this fight if he manages to just avoid Eubank's biggest punches and just keep bringing it, simply keep staying on top of him and not letting him, dictate the tempo, of course, and yeah, being the shorter man, it's like he will have to kind of get coming up close and in order to land with his hooks, and all that, the biggest shots, while Eubank will have to just simply be able to tie him up and fight on the outside, of course, as a taller man usually should. Yeah, so it's really hard to see what will happen, how this fight will end. But as I said, if it should affect Eubank, which it probably will, and I think I kind of lean slightly more towards Conor Benn, but on points, And if anybody can win this by some kind of knockout stoppage, then I guess that's Eubank. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, Eubank has been in there against some pretty hard hitters, like I don't know George Gross and yeah, I mean that guy Eubank, Liam Williams. Yeah, James the Gale. He can hit all right. Arthur Abraham, yeah. So he can take a good punch, like his old man, and maybe not just as well as he could, but anyway. I don't think Conor Benn can stop him, but who knows if Eubank should gas, in late. Well, who knows what can happen. I think this will be a pretty close fight. Yeah, and yeah, might well end as a draw. I can see that. Yeah. So I think I mean not Nigel Conor, man, is pretty hyped. I mean he's pretty uh how to say in the right mood for this. Like he seems pretty angry and willing to punish Eubank for saying stuff about his father and dragging the whole old rivalry into the light again, which was really unnecessary of Chris Jr. because that one should just remain buried. So no point in getting any like bad blood here or what their fathers did like 30 or something years ago. So yeah, I don't know really. This fight will probably end like a draw or split decision or something. But yeah, I think it's safest to say simply that. Hmm, I think I can see Connor. He looks pretty very good now. Has been looking very good lately. But as I said, if he doesn't get like walk into a big punch by Eubank and get gets like really staggered and then he can get taken off. But if that doesn't happen, then I clearly see him winning this on points if the judges are kind to him, of course. I think they will be because he's rather popular in UK. So yeah, that would be my prediction. Most likely Conor Benn on points. Some with a good chance that it might be a draw also. So that would be it for now. Thank you all for watching. See you. Bye.